Hey everyone, welcome to Medicae's Orders. You can trust us, we're doctors.
Just not that kind of doctors.
Hey, we got it right. I'm joined here today by my lovely co-hosts. I'm not going to attempt to point to them because that's always a failure. Nathan and Francois, say hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello, boys.
And as you can see, it is our inaugural Christmas episode. We are all in our finest Christmas sweaters. I'm sporting a Batman Christmas sweater. Nathan, what do you got there?
I got a dinosaur sweater.
Dino sweater. Francois, you have a traditional Canadian Christmas
a Columbia blue hoodie because I'm a loser who doesn't own a Christmas sweater.
No, I imagine that's your level of spirit.
I'm the Grinch on this show today.
Yeah.
True.
All right.
True.
How has everyone been doing, guys?
Pretty good.
How's life?
I've been playing a lot of games with Victrix Guard, the most fair and balanced data sheet in the history of Warhammer.
Why don't I have the power to mute him? I need that power.
I think I'm at 7 games now. I did lose one of them to the new Blood Angels detachment.
Rage Curse Onslaught is a good detachment. Just a wildly powerful detachment.
Just five the dick as hard as you can.
Five jump Death Company with a chaplain decided to casually one-tap a 6-man brick of Victrix, which granted is quite a bit of a spike, but it did happen.
Yeah. That is a monstrous spike. I think over the weekend, Innis put 1,400 points of his army into one 6-man brick, and that killed it. It's the other end of that spike.
Yeah, I rolled a lot of 1s and 2s for my saves.
Which is fine.
So what I
mean,
I deserved it, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did.
It's true. You did for playing Victrix Guard.
we have
Seth, what were you up to over the weekends or over the last couple weeks?
Yeah, I a lot of life stuff happened. I as you can see by my subtitle, now extra bird powers. I passed my specialty boards, so I am a certified avian specialist now. Thank you. I know, very exciting. And so that was Tuesday. Wednesday, I accepted my new job offer. So I'm moving to private practice in Montgomery, which, not that anyone knows Alabama geography, but it's like a 45-minute drive for me. It's not bad. So it'll be exciting. And then I was explaining pre-show, I had the fun of trying to email all my clients to let them know where I'm going, and then somehow getting my work email account banned by work. My work won't let me send emails now. My own organization thinks I'm a spammer, even though
they know you're leaving and they're trying to.
It's true. But I did talk to IT and they swear they're going to put me on that big senders list, but I still can't find how to apply to be the big sender. So yeah, we'll find out how to email another day. But yeah, other than that, I think I did an RTT since we were last on here, and with my highly competitive Innis's fault Iron Hands list, and got ran at a lot by World Eaters the first round. It doesn't like that. And then later, Nathan, I want to talk to you because I think you undersold. I think you undersold Dungeon Crawler Carl to the audience, and I need to fix that.
I thought you were going to say something about possessed bricks, but instead it's Dungeon Crawler Carl, and that's good. That's fine.
Yeah.
This is now a literary podcast, by the way.
Yeah, if you want to hear possessed bricks in games, I guess you go to the main show.
But
what have you been doing, Nathan?
I went to New Jersey for a charity GT, where inebriated one night we changed my list from a really standard Renegade Raiders list to why not 30 possessed. And so I went and played at this charity GT in New Jersey. Innis and Anthony were there as well. Anthony was running the event. Innis was playing in the event and eventually won the event. And I played 30 possessed, 20 chosen in Creation's Bile with Abaddon. And went 4-1 with it. It was a lot of fun. 30 possessed with +2 movement and the possibility of advance and charge are just kind of like a wall of T6 meat that flies at people. Not flies, but walks quickly.
Like no.
And then Abaddon and 10 chosen, and then 10 chosen plus Bile kind of stood slightly behind it. And then countercharged anything that came close to it. In one game, I got tired of a Rogaldorn shooting at me, and Abaddon charged it and one-tapped it by himself.
That's always fun.
Because Rogaldorn tank commanders are characters, and for 2 CP, I can reroll all wound rolls against characters. And I was like, Abaddon, I'm sick and tired of this shit. Please kill it. and paid 2 CP to kill it with dev wounds, essentially. And then
That works.
the next turn, he charged a Leman Russ and killed it. And then the next turn after that, he charged a Leman Russ and a Hellhound. And he killed the Leman Russ, and his chosen killed the Chimera. So, you know, things.
Yeah, who needs anti-tank guns? You just bring an anti-tank Abaddon.
He is. I hadn't played any Chaos Space Marines prior to this weekend. He is strength 14. He's just a little guy with strength 14, AP4, 3 damage, dev wounds on his sword. I don't know why, but he's strength 14, and it's crazy. I had a great time with that list. I lost to Innis in round 3 because I couldn't solve a combat puzzle. If anybody remembers, because they're old like me, the old Magic the Gathering puzzles where you'd be given like 2 sides of a table and what you were supposed to do to solve it. That's the kind of puzzle I was given to solve.
You could have said chess puzzle. That would have also worked.
Sure. I wanted to really nerd it up, apparently.
Okay. Sorry. Continue. I did something very nerdy this past weekend as well that we could talk about.
And so I just failed the combat puzzle. I made 3 mistakes in the combat puzzle, and that
probably too many mistakes.
Yeah. If I'd made 2, it would have been okay. But 3 was too many. Heroic. I let myself get psyopsed by Innis, who asked me after every single charge if I wanted to heroically intervene with another unit. And I got psyopsed into doing it with a unit and lost my 10-man chosen plus bile unit because I got so frustrated with Innis that I let go me into heroically intervening with a unit. Yeah. Otherwise, it was a great weekend. I played 2 guard players. I didn't play any Victrix units. Probably because I lost game 3 and they were all still undefeated. But yeah, it was a great weekend. It was good to see Anthony and Ennis. We went around New Jersey on the last day and upstate New York and saw some mountains and stuff, which was cool. Yeah, that was about it. That's what's been happening. I assembled the Demon Prince today. So I've been fully converted. I've left Eldar and fully converted to the ruinous powers. Apparently, is what I've done.
I'm okay. I'm okay with this because I just don't want to deal with Drazar.
Fair. I'm just afraid to tell you that Abaddon reminded me so much of Drazar over the weekend because he would just kill everything he touched, and the unit of things behind him would pick up anything that was left, like. Abaddon plus his chosen killed the new 9-man Wraith unit with the Technomancer and like the 2 Scarab drones and 6 Wraiths from top to bottom without precision, just with reroll wounds turned on. I don't know. It was pretty neat. Whole unit gone. Extra nice. He did then die to the Silent King, but that's neither here nor there.
That's right. Like he deserves.
True. Fair. And reasonable.
Silent King said, shut up.
But the list plays like Thick City did in 9th edition, which is why I like it so much, probably.
I love those lists where you just buff your brain down to smoothness for aerodynamic speed and you just go forward.
We know about your WTC run.
Yeah, we've got a short video, me and Anthony, that will be coming out explaining how the list works, followed by a longer one coming up later. Like next week.
The longer one where we just watch the brain polishing.
Yeah, the longer one is the brain polishing, where you learn how important like fight phase mechanics are, and when you fuck them up, how you die horrifically.
Yeah,
that can happen.
Yeah, you cannot mess up the fight phase in this list because that is the phase that you contribute.
That is all you've got.
Although chosen are sketchily inefficient at shooting.
Sometimes, yeah.
Thanks to rapid fire dev wound guns, I mean, in shooting, Abaddon's unit killed 2 Sanguinary Guard in shooting with dev wounds.
Yeah, as long as you're shooting at infantry, they're actually quite good.
They're quite good at shooting infantry. That's all they're good at shooting, but they're good at that. Yeah, that was my weekend. Seth, what nerd nonsense did you get up to that's more nerdy than 40?
No, I was going to ask, did we ask Francois about how he's been?
Yes.
He kind of started to explain
kind of.
it. He a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like, he was.
Tell us some more about your weekend.
Oh, you're going to get a kick out of this morning. I went to my daughter's school for the school community Christmas breakfast, and we had they had 2 back-to-back trivia quizzes. And so the first one was on general knowledge, and there was a lot of history and geography questions. So we crushed that, came in first place. The second one was on Christmas movies, and we came in 4th because unfortunately I didn't remember the intricacies of everything that happens in The Grinch.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like Jingle All the Way or something.
No, but actually there was there was a couple of questions about like 80s Christmas movies where I was like, I'm old enough to know this. Like the name of the bandits in Home Alone and things like that.
The Wet Bandits.
Yeah, no, their actual name, Marv, and I forget the other choice now.
Damn. Sorry, Marvin something. I don't know.
Marvin something. Yes, we're not going to
Marvin something. It was multiple choice. One of them had Marvin something. I was like, that's that one.
All right. So what did I do that was more nerdy this weekend?
Harry and Marv. There it is. Good.
There we
go.
How did I remember Marv but not Harry? I guess it stands out more. That's probably why.
It's because Marv was the funnier of the two. He's the tall one.
That's true.
He's the one who gets electrocuted and they show his bones and then somehow he's still alive.
That's how science works.
It is. We're
before we get into your really nerdy thing, Seth, I'm convinced that Kevin McAllister is just a haunting and he is torturing the two thieves by killing them repeatedly and bringing them back to life to hit another trap. Because when you think about it, getting hit with a brick from like a 3rd-story building in the face probably just kills you.
Yeah, that movie's not actually a Christmas movie. It's a horror movie.
It's a horror movie about how two guys get murdered repeatedly by a small child.
It also works if you remove Christmas from the movie. It could be any vacation the family's going on. It doesn't have to be Christmas.
But
also true. But it is a Christmas movie because it happens.
All right, we're gonna come back to that concept in a bit. I'm gonna talk about my nerd shit, and then we're gonna get to that, and then we're gonna get to Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Okay.
So I experienced like the most random impulse like the other week, and I was like, man, I really just miss playing a good like strategic card game. And I don't know if either of you have ever heard of this game, but in the 90s and then again in the 2010s, there was a game called Netrunner, which is like a really weird asymmetric card game. The best way to describe it, you're playing tower defense, the card game. One side is the corporation building servers to protect their stuff. The other side is the runner trying to hack into the servers. So the corporation's building the towers and the hackers trying to run through them. So it was like an LCG, which is like a weird model, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. When I lived in Baltimore, I played it a ton. Moved down here, never could find a play group. And then Fantasy Flight, who made it, lost the license in like 2018. So they just stopped making the game. I have never thrown that game out. I have kept it for 10 years in my closet because I'm like, it's such a good game.
Okay.
And I randomly was like, man, I wonder if there's anyone that still plays that game. I do a little Googling, and there's a fan project that kept the game alive. And turns out the fan project started making new stuff and selling it. And I'm like, well, I wonder if my local game shop has anyone that's interested. So I just like post up in the general chat, like, this is a long shot, but does anyone remember this game? Like 6 dudes were like, yeah, I still have it. So like Sunday, like some guy that literally had bought the game at like when it went after it died and was on sale, like had bought a bunch of it, never played, and was like, let's teach me the game. So like I've somehow revived a 10-year-old dead game in my local community. So,
nice. Good work.
So it was fun, but it was just like, I'm like, I literally have kept this in my closet for a decade and just was like, I can't throw it out. It's too good. And now I get to play it again. So that's fun.
And now your hoarding instincts are vindicated. See, you
correct. It's a bad reinforcement. Now the next time I'm like, I should sell off some of these 40K models. I'd be like, but one day. So it's negative reinforcement or positive reinforcement for depending on your point of view. Anyway,
40K models should never be sold because eventually they'll either get good again or get legends.
True.
So is that why I'm holding on to all the Forge World stuff that is literally editions old that hasn't had rules in editions?
No, that's stuff you can throw out.
You can proxy it with other stuff. I'm just saying, like Gal Vorback Possessed, great Possessed models. They look really cool. Probably still
the Orc Battle Fortress has not had rules since 8th edition.
Is it the same size as a battle wagon?
No, it's much larger.
Oh, that's a little sad.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do with that. Bud.
Yeah. How many Grot tanks do I have?
As many as I print, as many as I sent you. I don't know.
No, I have I have a bunch of the actual like portal ones, and then of course I have some printed ones. But anyway,
that was
my ultra nerdy thing.
I will say there was a very funny moment where you had gotten all like 18 grot tanks.
Yes.
All together and started painting them. And then it was Orc Codex release day, including practice games. Seth had played practice games. I was there for some of them.
Yep.
And the Codex came out and they all got legends. And Seth was like, oh, I see.
Yeah, I have lasted a week.
I decided between all of the models that I've had legends, like vehicle models, I could make the most epic display board for orcs where it's just like 8 feet of dead models that don't exist anymore.
You should.
That's a project for another day.
That means he's never going to do it.
Correct. But it's going to stay in my closet because I pulled that Netrunner out 10 years later.
It's like when I say that I'm going to paint these models quickly to tabletop standards and then I'll come back to them. I'm lying. I will never come back to them.
It's true. He never comes back. He left me.
He did. Much like Drazar left me.
It's true. What were we going to talk about next? Oh, yeah. Movies. So it's Christmas. We were having the internal discussion. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And then Francois pointed out that Home Alone could be taken any time of year, any vacation, but it's occurring during Christmas. So is that implicit acknowledgement that if the movie takes place during Christmas, it is a Christmas movie?
Well, that's the crux of the question, right? If Die Hard happens on St. Patrick's Day, does the movie still work?
I
think the movie doesn't function anymore because there's no reason for him to be here. Who has a party for their business on St. Patrick's Day? That's not a thing you do. And why would you?
You don't think fucking Guinness has a party?
Listen, it's a Japanese business. What about its Japanese Independence Day?
That's a much larger change. It's a much larger change to be like,
Nakatomi Plaza. It's a Japanese company.
Didn't they close some big account or something like that? They could be celebrating that that we made $1 billion. Look, I'm just saying, narratively speaking, you could probably find a way to have an office party. Okay,
sure. Okay.
So, but then they couldn't be like the whole Santa Claus ho ho ho. Now I have a machine gun sign.
Granted, you would lose some of the setting. You wouldn't have.
You'd have to rewrite the movie.
Shut up. So then it is a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas movie.
See, you'd have to fully rewrite the movie for it to.
But you would also have to rewrite Home Alone and write out all the Christmas shit.
Nah, you don't. You wouldn't have to write out the Christmas shit. Like,
okay, so he's just gonna have a Christmas tree and be drinking hot cocoa and watching Christmas movies for fun.
He didn't watch Christmas movies though. He watched like that violent Gatling gun movie. Got scared and then turned it off and yelled "Mom." Just saying, it could have just taken place in winter. You would need it to take place in winter or a cold place because several of the traps only work in a frozen winter wonderland kind of thing.
Don't some of the traps involve Christmas lights?
One of them involves ornaments, but that could be anything. That could be just broken glass on the floor.
So now we're rewriting part of the movie.
Not the whole movie, though.
We're not rewriting all of Die Hard.
I'm just saying, in order for Die Hard to not be on Christmas, you have to rewrite more of the film.
You have to write an excuse for a party.
Well, yeah, he's also visiting.
It could be a pizza party, okay? Shut up.
But he had to fly across the country. Yeah. I'm going to take time off.
Because his ex-wife finally is letting him come see the kids. Done. I have rewritten it in one sentence. Move on. Golly, you guys are just in the backstage chat. They are pro Die Hard as a Christmas movie.
I said it's a Christmas movie. Literally, I already said it's a Christmas movie, and that would require 2 extensive rewrites to make it not a Christmas movie.
So then what am I arguing for? I don't know.
I don't know either, Seth. You just started arguing.
I think, it's not a Christmas movie in the same way that Miracle on 34th Street is a Christmas movie.
Sure. Christmas is not the central locus around which the movie is organized. Like, Christmas is not the theme of the film. Like, you couldn't rewrite that North Pole Miracle of Christmas movie without Christmas, right?
Sure.
Speaking of,
other than Die Hard, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
Muppets Christmas Carol.
Okay, all right. Seth?
I think I mentioned it earlier, but Jingle All the Way.
That's a good choice.
It's a good one.
I'm gonna go with
Francois?
Elf. I'm a big fan of Elf.
Elf.
Ugh.
No, you don't like Elf?
No.
I think it's hilarious. I like it, buddy. And then he makes breakfast.
Makes
Dessert
breakfast
pasta.
spaghetti. Yeah, dessert
Yeah.
pasta.
That.
My wife's family loves to watch Elf on Christmas. It's like their
So
family
that's why you
tradition
hate
is
it,
watching
because
Elf.
you don't like your wife's family.
Oh,
No,
wow.
whoa.
That was worse.
That is a leap.
Yeah, you
Damn.
put some words in that man's mouth. Okay.
I'm glad nobody hears the audio on that end of Francois.
You can get a boy in trouble there. Easy.
The original Miracle on 34th Street in black and white is pretty good too. I like that one.
Is it?
Yeah.
That sounds very historical.
That sounds
I
exactly
like the
what
original.
it
That sounds like what you think I would like.
rooms.
Yes, my favorite
Before
film
they
is a
talk.
silent film showing the innovation.
Listen,
of the
I
black and white.
have watched all the Die Hards, including Live Free or Die Hard and A Good Day to Die Hard. So
Yeah, those ones are rough. Those are real rough. Not gonna lie. All right. What do you have any like 40K or hobby related Christmas traditions, boys?
no,
No,
do
not
you?
really.
I do.
Oh,
You
do
have a
okay.
40K tradition? Excellent. What is your
Yeah.
40K tradition, Seth?
It's called avoidance.
What?
What?
So
All right, this needs unpacking.
yeah, years ago when we lived in Baltimore, like our basement, like we had it was like a townhouse. We had a finished basement, and our basement was really where we like hung out and watched TV. That's where we had like the big setup, and it was also where my hobby desk was. And my mother-in-law would come visit, and she frequently would frustrate me with, because my mother-in-law and my wife are like, if you ask them to make a decision of like where we're going to go to dinner, when we're going to dinner, that's like a 3-hour conversation. And I would get frustrated. So what I learned to do was I would buy a large complex model,
Mhm.
and I would just sit there and build and paint that son of a bitch from start to finish. Every holiday I would just, I'm just going to build and buy a big kit. And if they're going in a circle, I'll just sit there and build and paint.
That's a
So
good way of doing it. Yeah.
that was back in like the Square-based fantasy days. I would build like like a Terrorgeist or like a Mortis engine for like vampire counts, like just big complex wibbly wobbly stupidly complicated things. And this year I have a large pile of Marines, because I just got all the vehicles for the Innis list in the mail. So I'm continuing the tradition. If my mother-in-law comes over, I'm just going to be in my hobby room.
Nice.
All right, sounds reasonable.
Fair enough.
This year, my father-in-law, who never knows what to give anyone, asks for recommendations. So this year he's giving me Black Templar sword brethrens.
Nice.
There you go.
Because out of my many Marine armies, I didn't have Black Templar, so we're filling that gap.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I encourage all of you, if you just, even if you can't, if you got to you're in the room, you can be in the room. You can be like, I'm just over here building and painting. I'm here.
Maybe I should
I
bring the
look
side
up-
clippers and the glue.
I look
You
up and
should.
acknowledge you. Yeah. But
Smart.
just like, I'm hanging out over here. When I would go home to see my parents in Pennsylvania, I'd sit at the kitchen table while they're doing everything. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the room. I am here and present. I'm just going to be sitting here building models.
Fair.
I find it's easier to travel with the build supplies and the paint supplies, though.
100%.
Yeah. I have to go to Minnesota without checked luggage on the way there, so I'm not going to bring supplies with me to hobby, unfortunately. But that's a great idea.
You could definitely stop at like a Hobby Lobby or something.
There's a local game store I could probably stop at it and get some
See?
supplies if I
Easy.
felt like it.
Easy.
Can you
I don't
fly with side
usually-
cutters? Like the blade's very short.
You can, yeah. I mean, I've flown with
In my head, I
them.
was trying to work out the mechanics of trying to force your way into a cockpit. with
Exactly.
side
That's
cutters.
exactly where I went. I was like, could you use this as a weapon to take over
No,
a plane?
I mean, anything is a weapon if you try hard enough, unfortunately. But I don't know. My family's traditions are all kind of like we either make food or we go and get Chinese food is like the family tradition at this point. Like we don't do traditional Christmas dinner either. We make like dumplings and stuff like that, like Japanese style dumplings.
What's your
and
favorite
those.
non-40K Christmas tradition that your family does?
That we do family traditions? Oh, geez.
Yeah. And you kind of already hit on it. You said you like
That's it. I like going to get Chinese food with my family. That's kind of nice. That's actually nice. Or making like 6 plates full of pot stickers and then eating those with my family. Those are nice things to do. We don't really have any other traditions of any kind whatsoever for Christmas, funnily enough. That's kind of it. My wife, my wife's family has like a reunion with like 150 people at it, so they get like convention rates on their hotel rooms and stuff like that. Like, and they all get together.
How big is their family?
Big.
Yeah.
Yeah, big. I don't know how else
how far down the branches of the family tree do they have to go to find 150 people? Or are we talking like
we're talking
Catholic
like
12 children families? Or
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
got it.
My mother had 24 aunts and uncles.
That'll do it as well, honestly.
Yeah. Francois,
my dad still carries on the tradition of making all the traditional foods that my grandmother, his mother, used to make. So he, a couple of weeks ago, I got a picture of the assembly line of tourtière, which is a kind of meat pie, traditional, that he was making. And so he makes them, then freezes them, then he bakes them from frozen because you get a better result doing that for some reason. I'm not sure why, but that's what the recipe calls for. And the key to that recipe is the crust is made with a lot of lard.
That's the key to every every really good crust. My dad has started making fruit cakes, like old traditional style, like soaking them in like cheesecloth covered, like filled with brandy and stuff like that. So
they're not the kind that lives forever and you can re-gift for 20 years. An actual
correct, not that one, like an actual one from scratch. Yeah,
actually,
it was
edible.
I actually requested one last year because I was like, this is really good. They're quite good.
Nice. Seems we have some other folks in chat that are getting their nieces and nephews into 40K.
Yep.
Lilith
I got my brother into 40K. Last time he came through, I gave him a 3D printer that I was no longer using, and like a giant box of Tau models, and was like, "Go nuts, have fun."
Why would you give him Tau models?
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm a Tau player, and why would you give someone Tau models?
He liked the army. That's what he wanted. Okay, fair. That's what you do. You give people what they want, Seth. You don't give them what they don't want.
No, you give them what they need.
Oh, now we're really going into a song. I can tell.
My brother and I used to play together when we were kids in the 90s, and I keep thinking that I should try to get him back in the game, but he only recently sold all of his old fantasy like metal Legion models, so I don't think it's possible to get him back in.
You could just lend him one of your like
that's
your size number of space.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's, you have so many armies. You can just be like, here, play with mine for a bit.
Sure,
like the first hit is free kind of thing. Yeah, it'll be fine.
I think I need to start charging a rental fee when there's a tournament locally, because the week before I get messages from like 4 people. Do you have this model? Do you have that model? And I end up bringing more models for other people than for myself sometimes.
You should. I mean, that's definitely
that could be a viable business model.
Oh no, it wouldn't be viable.
It would be. No, it would be a viable business model. You are correct.
So everyone's seen like the foldable carts at tournaments. Here, at least in like on the southeast and along the East Coast, where Away Games functions, they rent those carts. Like you can be like, I'm going to an Away Games event. You can like in advance be like, yeah, get me, me and my buddies are going to get us 3 carts, and they'll have 3 carts waiting for you when you get there, so you don't have to travel with them. The next evolution is also renting your army.
Yep.
Yes, but to make that a viable business model, the rental fee would have to be very high.
And they're
probably make it a deposit. Like
I was like, there are people that would pay it.
Low.
Probably.
Nathan, did you own your army that you used this weekend?
No, that was Anthony's army.
So you borrowed your army.
I found it a $125 round trip flight to New Jersey.
Okay, you're not helping my business plan here. Okay,
this was a cheap flight for me to go play 40K for the weekend. But you could do that.
Yeah, you could.
I know that a lot of stores for their practice for like their demo armies have you put down a deposit in case
you could lease an army.
Yeah, Lease to own armies.
Rent to own. I did once have a friend give me a bottle of scotch because I was bringing him an entire Tyranids Endless Swarm army for an event. So I traveled with, I don't know, 140 Tyranid models.
Oh, wait, Francois, chat's got a great idea. You just move to Mechlin and then you rent out all your armies once a year.
Funny thing about that is there were I owned 2 of the 8 armies that we played at WTC last year.
See,
you should get a discount on your
our
flight.
Death Guard and our Chaos Knights were both my armies, and I was playing the CK, not the broken Death Guard, much to my chagrin. I was like, these are my models. I should be the one praying.
I want to play the overpowered army.
Yes. So when we had a conversation about an upcoming team event with that same person, Jonathan Betheridge, the team event is coming up in January, and I told him that no, he could not take the Space Marine slot for that event, that I was going to play the Victrix card, and I was not lending him my Victrix to play.
I'm glad you stood up for yourself.
You can tactically also just not rent to people. Like if you're playing in a team's event and somebody from another team is like, hey, can I borrow like 3 Victrix Guard or like 2 Whirlwinds or something? You'd be like, no, I'm not going to lend you any models.
Or follow me here. You tell them yes, and then you don't bring them.
And then you leave them at home.
Oh,
I have a couple of times ended up playing against my own models at tournaments. And of course, jokingly said that I needed them back before the game started.
Maybe what if it's not so joking? You know, like the rental fee just went up.
The rental fee doubles if you play against me during the event.
You're not going to like this.
That's how you make the business viable.
Exactly. Yeah.
We got to stop talking about this live on air. Someone's going to steal this idea.
Somebody's going to steal our niche micro business of leasing 40K armies for money. Dang. Gonna take this on Shark Tank in a couple weeks. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm just confused as to why you were planning to be on Shark Tank in a couple weeks anyway.
Fair, reasonable. All right, Seth. What about you?
Oh, Christmas traditions?
Yeah,
still on that.
He already said it. He avoids his mother-in-law. That's his Christmas tradition.
Fair. That's my 40K Christmas.
Reasonable.
40K.
Oh, sorry, non-40K then.
How much time do you want to spend on that one?
Depends how funny the story's about to be. Is it about guns and or cannons?
Yes. You've probably heard some of them.
All right, let's start this one.
I have, and we haven't done it for many years, and it's a tradition I miss, but my parents separated when I was really young, so there kind of be like holidays ended up, getting kind of sorted out of who, where I was with what family and when. And from my father's, it was always, you did your father's Christmas on Christmas Eve, and I would go see my father's family, which was his 2 brothers and my, their associated, wives and kids. So my aunts, my uncles. And it was like, it's the smaller section of my family. Like I said, my mother had like 24 aunts and uncles, and my dad had like, him and his 2 brothers, like much more narrow tree there. But extremely redneck and extremely gray area on laws. And so it was always fun going because, like, one, it was the family I spent a lot of time with growing up with. So it's like the family I was close with. But like my uncle, one of my uncles was an Alaskan crab fisherman. So he would always just come back with like boatloads of king crabs. So he'd be like, fucking have crab for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. Woo! It was great. And then he also got really into like smoking different fish. So there'd always be like really good, like smoked salmon and stuff like that, smoked halibut. So lots of good food, but then also just absolute like debauchery and shenanigans. Like one of my uncles was a moonshiner. So that at some point there would be sampling of the moonshine. That never went well. One year, like when I was old enough to drive, I was driving home with my father because moonshine, and I was driving and my uncle, who we would be at one uncle's house in Ohio. And like my dad and my other uncle lived like 45 minutes away. So we would drive to the one uncle's house in Ohio and then we would drive back. And my dad and my other uncle lived like 10 minutes apart. And so for whatever reason, the uncle that's driving home as well in a separate car, who is also quite drunk, decided that he would want to make sure that I am a safe driver. And so he proceeded to tailgate me the entire way home. And then randomly at times speed up, get into the other lane next to me, and start flashing his lights and honking his horn and swerving at me to see how I would react to an aggressive driver.
Sounds like a moonshine-induced idea, all right?
That man was my godfather.
moonshine.
That man was my fucking godfather.
He was testing you to see if you could survive, clearly.
I did. I survived. So one year, this is like a little later in life, a couple of years down the line, I have a cousin, the godfather's son, who is he's back from the Air Force. And we decide we're going to ride over together, him and me. We're going to ride over. We're not going to go with the father and the uncle. Fuck those guys. They're on their own. And we get into the host uncle's house. We call him Uncle Fun. So I have my godfather and Uncle Fun. And Uncle Fun was also where our grandfather lived. That was why that was always at that house, because grandfather lived there. So we all would go to that house. And we look in the yard, and it's Ohio, northern Pennsylvania in the winter. There's snow, and there's tire tracks through the yard. And we're just like, who the fuck is driving through the yard already? God damn it, people. Like, it's too early in the day for this drunk bullshit. So like my cousin Ben and I are like, fucking all right, we go inside. And as we come inside, we notice that like no one's answering the door when we show up, which is, a bit unusual. And we walk into like the kitchen dining room area. And then like off that is where like the in-laws suite was, where my grandfather lived. And there's EMTs wheeling my grandfather out, strapped to a backboard. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and grandpa strapped down to the headboard, like can't move, can't look at you, just raises his hand and goes, thanks for coming out, boys. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, it was the EMTs had driven around the house and were taking grandpa out because grandpa decided that even though he was diabetic, insulin was not as effective as whiskey. And so he just tried to use whiskey one morning instead of insulin. Here we are. So it's just like, we were like, can someone tell us what the fuck is going on? Why is grandpa getting hauled out of here? It's 11 in the morning. What the fuck? He's been drinking whiskey already. Oh, good. Like, yeah, we had cannons. It was pretty much tradition that at some point the fire department or the police would show up and tell us to stop shooting shit and blowing things up. We had moonshiners. One of my uncles may or may not. Oh no, we have a family.
It's an everyday cannon.
Yeah, it's
a family
cannon.
I knew that.
Sorry, an everyday cannon. I apologize.
I knew about the cannon.
Yeah, we got very good with the cannon. It fired pool balls, like billiard balls, which was hilarious because over the years, my uncles like tried to find my grandfather busy work, and so for whatever reason, they were like, go out and find billiard balls, and that man combed like every garage sale, I swear, in like 100-mile radius. So we just had like a massive bucket of pool balls that we would shoot out of this thing. He somehow found explosive shells for it, so that was cool. Yeah, you had a cannon. You didn't have a cannon?
What the fuck?
I mean, we also had like potentially modified, firearms for other fun things. Sure. We had a lot of fun. And there may or may not have been prostitutes at the house one year. There may or may not have been police involved. My one cousin may or may not have got knocked up by a meth dealer who then we told, don't you fucking come around this house. And he did, which didn't end well for him.
He's buried up by the cannon. Nobody looked back there.
Yeah, don't worry about where he is. The house got burned down no, that was the family bar got burned down one year by the meth lab. Just like normal redneck
American
shit.
stuff.
Yeah. So
as far as
it sounds like a TV show. This sounds like Shameless.
I can't answer that question.
You can't answer that question.
I can't answer that question. I've said too much. I've said too much. But as like in hindsight, like being a more level-headed adult, being like, holy shit, what did we grow up in? Like looking back, you're like, those memories are hilarious. Like, drunken uncle running around with a shotgun shooting outside because he says, I'm gonna take down Rudolph, to scare us kids. In hindsight, you're like, that's probably traumatizing, but at the time it was fucking hilarious.
All I know is that Seth's family is the basis for several sitcoms, is all that I know at this
Probably. The fact that most of us grew up to be well-functioning adults is damn impressive to me, really, at this point. We've only had, two of them. Only two
Yeah.
of my cousins have been incarcerated, and one rehabilitated quite well.
Way to beat the odds there, Seth.
Yeah, there's a long running joke between my sister and I, because like these three brothers, each of them have two kids, and one kid is always the screw up, and like my sister and I just kind of kept staring at each other like, which one's going to be the screw up? and neither my sister nor I were screw up, so we think it's because she's my half sister, so a different mother. So we think that's how my dad broke the curse.
Fair. Most people have to sacrifice a goat to break those kinds of curses.
He just had to have multiple wives. It's fine.
Yeah,
not at the same time. We're not Mormon. Not at the same time. Although my
anymore.
Towards the end, my grandfather would just talk about my dad's various wives over the years by number, and so when my mother would come around, he'd be like, "Hi, number 2."
I'm sure that went over real well.
Wow.
She was like, "Yeah, whatever. He's got Alzheimer's." She's like, he at least remembered what order I came in. That's good
I
enough.
am so grateful for my incredibly boring upbringing. I don't have stories like that at all.
Man, I thought my upbringing was mostly boring and somewhat exciting because my grandfather had all the firearms. I didn't have this many firearms, though.
I have other stories. I might have to tell those off air. Find me off air.
My grandfather would shoot gophers from the back of his tractor. That's as close to a firearm I've ever gotten.
Unless you're using dynamite, don't come at me. All right.
All right. Well, we know what my goal is.
I'm not trying to beat your crazy story, Seth. That's impossible.
I mean, that's we've done that. We gave a neighbor a heart attack. It's fine.
Trying to get gophers with dynamite. Did you grow up in Caddyshack?
No.
He grew up in Pennsylvania.
I just grew up in a redneck area. Yeah.
Pennsylvania is where Seth grew up.
Basically, yes. So there was an interesting article that popped up today that is very, very topical to this show.
Oh,
you're going to share your screen here. You want to share the screen, or should I share the screen?
I don't have that functionality. You don't want me to have that functionality.
But you probably do. You just don't know how to do it.
Yeah, it's probably true.
The truth of it is Seth just doesn't know how to do it.
That's very true.
There's a little icon of a screen with a plus sign in it. I'm guessing that's it.
Look, I have to keep my boomer mentality.
There are so many ads on this page, though.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
Someone's getting a
that's
PhD
a good show,
in
at least.
40K.
We're getting an ad for a good show. Not that.
Yeah. There's a PhD for 40K. Yes. Gentlemen.
And funded.
I'm not getting another one.
I like to point out, we start this show, a month ago? Talking about doctors in 40K. Suddenly there's a PhD program for 40K. We complain about the lack of rules in Grotsmith, and suddenly there's rules for Grotsmith. This show has really changed the 40K ecosystem in just a few short weeks. Imagine what we're capable of if we actually have any form of consistency here.
I think what's happening is we live in a simulation, and one of the three of us is the main character.
Not it.
Well, based on those stories.
That might be it.
I don't want to be it.
I'm loving how the ads are cycling right now into nothing bundt cakes.
I mean, it is Christmas.
And enjoy Illinois. There you go.
That's how you know that's how we know you're not using a VPN right now.
Yeah, very true.
True.
Wait, I want the candy canes. No, I want peppermint.
We're getting a window into Nathan's psyche through those targeted ads.
Not really.
I do like the idea of peppermint chocolate chip bum cake. I'm not gonna lie. That I do like. This is my favorite, thing this time of year is like peppermint bark. So I'm down with that. But
back to the very serious topic of getting a PhD in 40K.
Okay, so this is, at this point we are in doctor land that I don't understand. Explain to me how you get a PhD in 40K, gentlemen.
I mean,
you don't get a PhD in 40K.
Real quick?
I'm pretty sure you get a PhD in economics, and you decide to study 40K for your dissertation.
Yeah, so the Finnish Foundation for Economic Education awarded a student $30,000 for a research project titled Transmedia World Building in Massive Game Franchises. And it's focusing on transmedia as an approach to how kind of like the Warhammer franchise approaches building its world through multiple different media systems is what it looks like.
That sounds not nearly as exciting and clickbaity.
Sorry. It's not like.
Although
Sorry,
I think you could probably say that about every PhD.
sure. Yeah.
Yes. If people can get a PhD in, I don't know, American literature specializing in Edgar Allan Poe, like why couldn't you get a PhD in modern media specializing in Warhammer 40K?
There's more Warhammer 40K than there is Edgar Allan Poe.
That's true.
Does that mean that someday 40K is going to be classic literature?
Yeah,
it could
sure.
be.
Yeah, why not? Although, I guess when you think of like pulpy novels, like penny novels are kind of like the thing or whatever it was during like kind of yesteryear. We don't remember any of that stuff, so we might not remember any of the Warhammer.
Yeah, I guess all the dime novels about the Old West of the late 19th century, we don't really remember those as much as Edgar Allan Poe.
You're telling me that there's not one of those on your shelf behind you right now?
No, there isn't. There might be one in my office on campus.
They do still make movies and shows about them, though, I suppose, because when you get Billy the Kid and stuff like that, like those are things from those novels.
The making of the myth of the West is actually a fascinating topic about how the American cultural memory and historical memory and collective memory of the Wild West is completely fabricated by dime novels and Wild West shows. And there's your history fact for the show. I weaved it in seamlessly.
Seamlessly into the section about PhDs. I don't know. It's like any number of things. Like history is written by the victors. The victors wanted us all to think that the Wild West was all about cowboys and, gunslingers, and that's all it was. Instead of,
it was not about androids that you have sex with.
No,
that's a different kind of.
That will be what we think in 100 years from now when somebody finds Westworld and thinks it's a documentary about our experience.
God, talk about a show that just like. Did you guys watch Westworld?
I did not.
I watched the first season of it.
It was very good, and I would say it was very good through like 2.5 seasons, and then like it just petered out, and it got into some weird like meta society shit, and I was like, no, just stick with mystery shit. Just stick with mystery.
Was there a writer's strike in the middle there? That's
I think
usually why shows go off the rails like that.
Well, and then they definitely planned to have a 5th season and then never got it. So the ending is extremely unsatisfying for that reason.
Fair.
So,
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of really cool books like the one that Francois mentioned that are just all about kind of like deconstructing the mythos that we've created wrapped around a lot of historical eras.
I'm going to deconstruct another book right now because you gave me that segue.
All right. Okay.
Oh, are we going to go into the audio drama of the book that I suggested?
You very, very poorly sold that as a book series.
The thing about it is,
all right,
is Dungeon
for context. You talk about Dungeon Crawler Carl like on our first episode, and you're like, "This is great. It's nice, easy read." And then 2 weeks later, you're like, "I'm through 7 books," and I'm like, "God damn, this like what the hell?" Yeah, so then I'm planning, this move to a new job. It's going to involve me doing a commute. I like books on tape. I was like, I should, re-up my Audible, get some books on tape. And I did. And then I was like, let me try this. It's like 5 days I blew through that book. I didn't even drove anywhere. I just been sitting in the house listening to it.
Sitting in the dark, just listening.
Like playing video games or, building painting, whatever, just listening to that.
You can play video games and listen to audiobooks at the same time. My brain can't do that.
It's called ADHD. Remember, I take medical grade meth.
Yes, but presumably the medical grade meth stops your brain from doing that.
Eventually, there's a 3 or 4 hour window in the middle of the day where I've hit the right dose where it's on. After that, I need to be doing 2 things at once. I can't actually play video games now without something else going on in the background. Like It's a problem. Anyway, I digress. So Nathan, rephrase your pitch. How did you pitch this book series to me?
All right. So I think how I pitched it was that Dungeon Crawl Carl is like thematically about a post-apocalypse kind of situation where people are shunted into a dungeon with like real world lives and it ends. And like aliens show up and essentially shove all these people into it as a form of entertainment that they construct around them. And so it's very Hitchhiker's Guide-esque in humor. Is what I really like to say. And then it dives deeper and deeper and deeper into how violence affects people as you get deeper into the book series. And it points a lot of fun at like modern day culture, and it riffs a lot on that. It also is like a really interesting representation of like how somebody else would like how people represent other cultures. So there's like this whole alien situation where they like.
By the way, this is far more detail than you gave in the first time.
Sure.
At least twice as long.
Seth is like, Nathan needs to rephrase this whole thing, so we'll do it. So there's like a whole thing about how aliens interpret human culture and then represent it on their various TV shows.
Yeah,
and
there's
stuff,
like, there's a
about
whole
dungeon
commentary
crawl.
on.
There's a meta commentary that's going on about how cultures ingest other cultures and represent them in other ways and how they do it incorrectly.
Okay, so your original like explanation was aliens take over Earth and turn it into a dungeon crawling game show.
Yeah, which is what it is. That is what it is.
Okay, so follow me here. When I do like long car rides, like 10, 12-hour drives, I like to, get a book on tape. And I particularly have found like the young adult genre is like the good place and level of complexity, because you don't have to think too hard about what's going on. Therefore, you can drive. Like, I've also listened to like, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. I've listened to those, and those are a lot more, mystery and complex, and a lot harder to follow when you're just listening. So I went into this kind of thinking this is going to be in that vein of kind of not too complex. Don't have to pick up on too many, subtle hints they're giving you. Like, this is a pretty well written book series. Also, the fucking new achievement system is fucking hilarious.
Also, I've heard the audiobooks are quite funny because Donut has like a voice and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, like that's the other thing. I don't think I can actually read the book now because the voice acting is just too good.
I've heard that the voice acting is fantastic in the book.
She has this prissy, and by the way, Donut is his ex-girlfriend's cat that goes into the dungeon with him. That is like some like prissy Persian show cat, but then like eats a magical biscuit and becomes a like talking sentient cat that is in herself her own character within the dungeon.
Yes, this happens within the first chapter of the book.
Yeah, this is like, I'm not giving big spoilers.
This is not a spoiler.
But she's like a main character, and she's just like some prissy cat that's like, I hate fucking dogs, Carl. They're evil. And then like there's a whole catchphrase because it just she runs off and
shut up,
shit.
Donut. Yes.
No, God damn it, Donut.
Or God damn it, Donut. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just Carl. It's just because she's just like, I hate that thing. Ah! And like shoots lasers out of her eyes, aka magic missiles, at things. And he's like, God damn it, Donut, quit wasting your mana. So
yes,
it's a very good series. And I now have to restrain myself from getting the other books so that I can save them for March when I actually start commuting to work.
You shouldn't save them. You should start them.
I'm going to blow through them by March. If I do that,
there's an 8th book coming out.
I'm going to listen to all of those before March. If I
You're going to listen to 8 books by March?
Yes.
Damn.
As stated, there's only about 3 to 4 hours a day that my mind does one thing.
How many books have you gotten through so far? Just the one?
Yeah. I started that after our podcast last week.
They do get longer, by the way.
How much longer?
Like 1.5 to 2 times longer as the books get bigger, as we get later in the
series. Chat, should I do this? Should I not?
You should.
I want to book Warhammer players. We're all enablers. Of course,
I'm gonna go check to see if this is true real quick. Actually,
yeah. Let's go. No, here's a real simple answer because Audible tells you how long.
Right. The first book is longer than the second book, actually, but the the third, fourth, and fifth book get consistently longer. So the first book is 464. The second book is 384. Then it's 550. Then 608. Then 720. Then 832. And then 880. And book 2 is the shortest at 11.5 hours, but then it's 17 hours, 18 hours, and a little bit more, and then 23.5 hours of audiobook listening.
I guess the other thing that I enjoyed is they very, very obviously are setting up components of the storyline in this first book that they are going to pay off in other books.
I will say that the book world gets much more complicated as things go on.
That's fine with me.
It's out simple.
Remember, we talked about our favorite fiction series, and mine was The Wheel of Time. I'm fine with complicated.
Sure. So, like, the first book is by far, the first and second book are by far the most simple that the series gets in terms of how the story functions and how the world works. And then it gets more and more complicated as you go, and more things are added, both from the external alien overworld and then like the dungeon world itself, and then the elements that make up the characters, and the cast of characters expands as well.
I want to say what I enjoyed, like, so I have years ago had a conversation with an English major, and was able to kind of put a finger on what I like about authors and what I don't like about authors. And I do not like George R.R. Martin. I do not like A Game of Thrones, because George R.R. Martin is very much I don't really know where I'm going. I'm just kind of feeling my way through this, and as I
also spend 3 pages describing a meal.
Yeah. Okay, well that's a problem, but that's a different problem. But it's what you would refer to as like a gardener. Like they're putting ideas and they're putting concepts into the book series, not knowing how they're necessarily going to pay those off. They're just like, we'll see if we can do something with this or not. Versus like The Wheel of Time with Robert Jordan was very much like, it's an architect. It has very distinct, I'm putting this thing in here and I'm going to pick it up 5 books later over here.
So you like a good Chekhov's gun that actually fires?
Yes. And I'm getting the feeling that Dungeon Crawler Carl is going to be like that. And Nathan, my thumbs up or thumbs down on that?
I think the books are pretty good at having relatively self-contained plots, which is what you're going to find from book 1. Book 1 is like the first floor, right? Essentially.
First and second or something. But yeah.
First and second. Like, so the books are organized effectively around each floor of the dungeon, roughly.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
each one has like a contained...
They put like there was some royal family that has to be defeated on the 9th floor. Like they put that thing in the first book.
Yeah, so there's like definitely all that stuff pays off eventually.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that's it. I got the vibe that's like they're definitely planning things in this first book that they might not get to in the second or the third book, but they're going to eventually pay this thing off.
So now I want to read these books, but not because of anything either of you have said about them, because that sounds very strange, but because of like Seth childlike glee as he's telling us what's in these books.
They're very fun. I will say that they're very fun books.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing you said sounds that interesting, but
they're fun, but they're also well written. And I'm telling you,
it's hard to talk about the books in any depth without ruining some of the fun of them.
Well, it's like when I tell people about the Starship Mage series and the Mage King of Mars and like the spaceships that go with magic, and it doesn't sound fun, but I blew through that series very quickly one summer.
And I'm telling you, like, having done the audiobook, I can't, because it's just like, and I did like the regular one. At the end of the audiobook, there was an in-character advertisement for the enhanced version done by a second company with the same voice actors, but now they do it like, that you listen to like the 40OK audio dramas where they have like the background music and background sound effects. They have apparently added all of those in as well.
Also, I'm going to show the covers again because I think they're funny. Also, the hardcover book covers are way better, but the covers are very funny looking.
It was also like this feel like this book series came out of nowhere. This is the cover. Yeah. Like I feel like it came out of nowhere because like you started talking about it, and then I was like, oh, I'll start listening to it. And then I go to this RRT last weekend, and then like one of the guys is sitting there with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend just like pulls out the book, like, I'm going to start reading this today. And I was like, I just started listening to that on the drive over.
I do really like the current hardcover covers, though. They're quite good.
KR says my opinion is garbage because Wheel of Time is garbage. So it'll be interesting to see if he enjoys Dungeon Crawler Carl, and we can find a middle ground to come together. We're by no means, by the way, sponsored by anything related to this book series.
I wish we were, honestly. Like Matt Dinneman, if you like 40K, just saying.
Talk to your boys. We'll hype you up.
We'll hype you up a bunch more.
Clearly, we're doing it for free, so why would they need to pay?
You can talk to us, and then we can go other places.
Nice. But I don't know. I really like the series. I was turned onto it, honestly, by TikTok. Yeah. I watched a TikTok that was summarizing the book series, and I was like, this sounds really interesting. And then I read the first one. I was like, this series is great. And then read 6 more of them. So, and the 8th book is coming out soon. So you're not going to see that much of a break between finishing things and then getting the 8th book. So, yeah. Also, there's other books that this guy has written that have similar concepts around them. Okay. So you can always read some of the standalone books that he has written as well.
Yeah, I got very like Monster Hunter International vibes from it as well. Have you ever read that series?
I have not.
I like that one, but I think I have a personal bias because it takes place literally where I live.
Fair.
Which is not like a thing that I knew about before when I started reading it. But then I was like, wait a minute, you're describing where I live. Like, not like it looks like the same place. Like, no, like there's a book that takes place at Auburn University. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, this author does write pretty exclusively lit RPG stuff. So like there's another series called Dominion of Blades, which takes place in an online role-playing world. There's a one called Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon, which I think is kind of funny.
I think like legally as the Dr. 40K podcast, I think we have to read that.
Fair.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll fill my time with other series. I have to go look to see if they're on Audible.
Here's how this one is summarized, just for the audience, is more than anything else. Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon, survival horror, one of the most brutal, most terrifying full immersion games ever made. A place where fantasy characters such as elves and dwarves clash with technology, where giant monsters roam the hills, entrusted with protecting the gates of heaven from the demons who would tear it all down. Yeah, there you go. It's just lit. He writes lit RPG books. That's what he does.
All right.
All right. Over the Christmas break, I will read the first Dungeon Crawler Call.
Okay. Good. We'll have
and then we can turn this podcast into a Dungeon Crawler Carl podcast when we talk
about.
No,
we're making a book club.
we could start a 40K book club where a segment of our show is just book club.
It should probably be 40K books, though, if we're going to do that.
No,
we can intermingle some.
It's our show. Books. We can do what we want.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm currently trying to finish one of the Or's Heresy books that I've tried to that I've started and abandoned twice now, and I forget which one the title, but one of them is a real slog to get through. And I'm trying to get through. So
is
I
it
can
Battle
keep,
for the Abyss? Because that's the one everyone hates.
No,
I enjoyed Battle for the Abyss.
I should just give up on it and read the next one. It's one of the Siege of Terra books, actually, and so that's why I want to finish it so I can keep going with that story.
I had to write something depressing in chat to Kara Quinn. That's
all. Yeah. George Robert Jordan's had a
Robert Jordan specifically had to publish because he was having major chronic health issues, and so had to push out more books to help pay for his health care, unfortunately, folks.
God. And then the whole story behind how that series got passed off to Sanderson, Brandon Sanderson, was so Robert Jordan knows he's not going to survive to finish writing the book series. His editor is his wife. Between his written notes of what is the final story point supposed to be, and verbally describing the ending to his wife, and at that point Brandon Sanderson, who has already been selected to be the guy to help finish it, it was 2,000 pages of notes.
Yep.
And Brandon Sanderson was I am not doing this in one book. Do you understand that if the notes are 2,000 pages, what the book will be? You were it's going to be 3 books.
Yeah.
But they those books, you can tell the pace definitely picks up with being a different author.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, that was knowing that was coming. I'm glad that he actually had the, forethought of I'm going to finish this project because I can't see it through, and had, things in line, but just 2,000 pages of notes.
We are so living up to this is a 40K podcast that will talk about anything except 40K.
Do you want to talk about 40K, Francois?
No, this has been a lovely conversation.
We talked about 40K at the first 30 minutes of the show. We talked about 40K
maybe
for a full.
I talked about a 40K specific Christmas tradition I had.
That was a good launch point for the Christmas tradition discussion, though.
It's I sort of had an idea of what topics could go in what order to lead the conversation.
I just show up and roll with it.
Yeah. And it works out.
Somebody giggling in the background is endlessly funny, though.
That's my kids. They're not giggling to whatever I'm saying. They're having their own conversation.
I mean, of course, they wouldn't be giggling to whatever you're saying, but yes. All right. Did we have listener questions? Or
we'll do that in a second. Do we have any? So one thing I will say before we go into listener questions is if you want to ask questions in the show, inevitably what you're going to want to do is to check out all of our links below in the show description for ways to support us. But to ask questions specifically, you want to join the Patreon Discord for $5 a month. You get access to bonus content outside of the show, but you also get access to us, essentially.
And if you want to ask us our book opinions.
If you want to ask us all sorts of stuff, whether it's book opinions or other things, you can
We're also
definitely answer.
chronically online, so we will be answering.
True. So you go to patreon.com
Also,
and look
someone
up
hit me
StatCheck.
with like psychic damage today when I went into the Discord.
They do that, yeah. It's the thing
Yeah,
that
I'm trying to
happens.
find
I'm often reminded of how old I am in there.
Yep.
There
There's
was a
some
whole
young people in
conversation
there.
this morning using language that I could not understand. It was supposed to be English, but they were, I don't know, Zoomer words.
Innis made me feel old because apparently there's new ways to form hearts with your hands, is what I was told. So I was taught this way.
I always
and then I know
don't
that
think
this is
Innis
the
is as young
Korean-
as he is.
And then there's like a new way where it's
Yeah,
like
Innis
with
is 26.
with like the inner fingers or something in your hands like that or something. I can't do it. I don't know. My brain doesn't work that way apparently.
Or your hands.
No, that's because your
my
brain is done
hands.
growing, unlike Innis's.
Yeah, true. Sometimes I'm not sure that Innis has done anything except grow some. Never mind.
The
but yeah,
fact that you're not wrong is like
Yeah, the brain matures until 26.
Yeah, fair, reasonable. I can't remember how old Innis is anymore.
I think he is.
Just gonna keep
Or
going
at
with
least
it. I don't
in that
remember.
ballpark anyway. We'll roll with it.
Sure, we'll roll with it. All right. We also will be off next for our next episode because it typically fall on the 1st of January, and that's just the holidays. So we're just not going to do that. So we will do our next episode on the 8th of January. And then we're gonna go back to a bi-weekly schedule after the 8th. So we'll reset our schedule.
I think we have the best advertisement for joining your Patreon from KR. StatCheck is actually worth it. Patreon been burned on it before, but y'all have value. I'm jaded, but it's worth it.
I should write that on our front page as a thing. Actually, that's a great
that
review.
sounds like some of my student evaluations. I get a lot of. I normally hate history, but this one was all right.
Perfect.
That's a very common
it.
trope in
I'll
my
take it.
student evaluations, and I'm like, backhanded, but I'll take it.
Yeah, you're like, hey, you liked it. That's good enough.
Yeah, otherwise, you can get access to other 40K stuff like the Vibe Check League, and you get access to bonus content from the other shows. Me and Anthony are going to be recording an in-depth review of how to play the possessed list and stuff like that, and then other things.
Yeah, I think even
At
someone
some point-
in chat was asking about what the list is. That would be a great way to learn about it.
Yeah, that'd be a great way to learn about it. We're going to record that long-form content probably sometime next week. I can't promise you when. The holidays make everything a little bit harder. We're all going to be traveling and stuff like that, so it just gets a little more complicated. All right, show questions. There aren't very many, so we're just going to answer a few questions and then we'll be done.
All right. If you guys should ask us more questions because obviously we'll talk about literally anything on this show.
Part of it is
Absolutely anything.
my fault is that I posted the show questions thread yesterday.
Oh yeah,
or this morning.
Actually, I think
was saying,
even
like,
before
don't
the
give
show
yourself too
questions
much
thread,
credit.
there was a question.
I asked
earlier.
a questions thread, but there are some questions just generically in chat. The
'Cause
first
someone
one of which
wants
is
to know
from
if-
Nikki, which is Dungeon Crawler Carl worth picking up? And apparently it is because we spent 20 minutes talking about it.
Perfect.
Live during the show, I sent it to my
Yeah.
Kindle.
There you go.
Done.
Wow. What better review can you find? Also, they're quite cheap on Kindle right now. They're like $5 a book.
Damn.
US. So, best 40K gift you ever got on Christmas. Start us off, Seth.
The airbrush booth.
That's a good
A
one.
few years ago, my brother-in-law got me one, and it took me from airbrushing in the garage to airbrushing in my hobby room, which is much nicer.
Much nicer. Yeah.
Francois, how about you?
My wife gave me a photo booth for minis. One on the larger side, though, so I can take pictures of entire units.
The best Christmas one that I received was this Demon Prince that I just got because I'm so excited to build it. I don't get
the
a
new
lot of
Demon
work.
Prince kit is
I was like,
really
can your
nice.
wife hear you right now? Is that why you're saying?
No, she
Blink
didn't
twice if you're being held against your will.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, got it for me.
That new Demon Prince kit is really nice.
It is quite cool. The one part that was a little weird was that it's like, this is the Age of Sigmar section. This is the 40K section. You need to do the first 2 steps of this, and then the last 5 steps of this for Warhammer 40K. I was like, okay, I can do
You
this.
can actually
But
mix
that's
and match
quickly
those
done.
instructions.
I mean, it's a demon prince.
I just kinda-
yeah, it'll be fine.
Nobody's looking at
It'll
it
be
that
fine.
closely. Yeah.
The most
So it's
important question
mostly
though, is
assembled already.
sword or axe?
Sword
Or
It looks
swax.
cooler.
No, the axe is much cooler.
Swax.
No, I don't agree with you. Swax.
That's the sound
I'll
it makes.
Inevitably, I'm gonna have to get like a second and a third one, and they can have different weapons to help me markate them differently. One will have an axe, one will have a sword, one will have whatever, I don't know, a swax. I'll give the third one a swax. Just for Seth, I'll give it a swax.
I'm in. Do it.
All right. And then the first question from the Patreon is also from Nikki, which is best non-epic hero medic in the game today.
Pause. Are there still epic hero medics?
Yeah, there are a few. Fabius Bile, ostensibly,
Okay,
is a medic.
Oh, I know. The Ravenwing Apothecary, because he's still
That's a
in
good
the
one.
Ravenwing Command Squad.
Ooh, there you go. That's a good one. I think the Wolf Priest is my favorite because you get two different kind of medics. You get a medic and a chaplain.
A medic for your soul.
a medic for your body and a medic for your mind all at the same time.
I mean, obviously I'm biased, but the Pain Boy, just for his ability to like give an obscene number of 5-up feel no pains to a unit.
Also, the way that he holds his claw like this on the miniatures.
But the most hilarious being his just have D6 mortal wounds at the end of combat, K-Bye. And you're like, what? You're like, yeah, my one attack hits and it wounded you on a 4+, therefore your unit takes D6 mortal wounds. You're like, and just like smoking Terminators.
And it's called something very funny, like the big
Erdy syringe. It's just Erdy syringe. Yeah. But it just every time it happens and it just like smokes some like elite infantry, they're just like, what just happened?
I will say the funniest one is the hurt doctor, which is the apothecary biologist, who gets better as he kills something. He's like, what if I was OC10 because I killed you on a point or something?
And what's he carrying in that little sample case that he's walking around with? That sounds
really
it's Gene Seed.
He's much more scientist than doctor, I think. Like much more scientist than medical.
He's like, I'm here to collect some data, and if I help someone on the way,
more PhD than MD. So he fits in.
More PhD than MD. There you go. He fits in with us perfectly.
Yeah.
All right. Next question, also from Nikki, is an apple a day keeps the doctor away. What's the equivalent for doing well in Warhammer? In the universe or like in the game?
Yeah.
Pharmacist. There we go. Thank you for the person who've got pharmacist in there.
I guess answer it both ways. Like, how do you what do you do to do, like, what's the equivalent of doing something daily to be better at 40K, and what's the equivalent of doing something daily to be better in the universe?
Let's be better at 40K. Sure. Play a game of 40K a day, you'll get better at 40K.
There you go.
Well, that's not feasible for all of us, buddy.
I mean, on average, I'm not far from that, actually. Especially during
I would go with, like, I'm thinking it from a different point. I would do, like, if you ever tried to do the hour a day hobbying, like, commitment, that's always good for me. Like,
or even just write a list a day, or think about where
an hour a day keeps the pile of shame away.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I like.
And then for Francois, a rep a day keeps the 20 O's away.
A rep a day, just one rep. That's all you need. And then for the universe,
a prayer a day keeps the darkness away, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, if we're in the Imperium, yeah. Make sure you do your daily
for an orc, it's a wa a day keeps the sadness.
No, I would just kick a garrote every day.
Can orcs even be sad? I don't know that orcs have the emotional depth to be sad. It feels like they're happy all the time.
They're either mad or happy
or glad.
Yeah, but they're probably happy that they're mad because they get to fight. I feel like orcs are the happiest species in 40K by far.
True. I mean, everything is about what they want.
The Ghazghkull book was just hilarious because Ghazghkull himself is the one that shows like the most like range of emotion. The strange one that the orcs couldn't figure out was patience. Where he was just like, we're gonna sit here and wait, and they're like, why? And he's like, because I said so. And they were just like, they would get in fights, and he was like, shut up, I said wait.
I love that. The best orc leader is the one who has learned to wait.
Yes.
All right. The next question is from Trom, which is there something work related that you refuse to do outside of work? I work in a university library and I don't go to any library if it's not for work. Do you just treat random animals on the street, Seth? Just walking around?
Okay, so this is like the thing about like a vet is like everyone's going to ask you questions about their animals. Like, hey, my cat does this, my dog does this. And I try really hard to not answer those questions outside of work. And it to the point where there was a point where I wouldn't even tell people I was a veterinarian. Like I was like, I work at the university. And my wife would also like try not to tell people because they would ask her to ask me.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I don't have that problem. Very few people have history problems to solve.
Quick, Francois. No.
Tell us about the Muppets and whatever the fuck you were talking about last time after the show.
I tried to read dumb, pulpy books because I read serious things for work and I have to engage intellectually more with. And
okay, time out. This is a tangent. Have you ever watched The Fat Electrician?
Yes. Actually, he's very talented storyteller.
Did you see his most recent episode on Colonel Sanders?
No, not yet. But it is going to be on my YouTube algorithm for sure.
It is goddamn hilarious. You have to watch it. Short version is Colonel Sanders tried to kill a guy with some oil execs in tow.
No, but he is a very good storyteller.
Yeah.
Anyway. I use his blue whale analogy when I teach the Berlin Crisis.
Do you show them the Berlin airdrop episode?
No, sorry. I just was looking at Nathan laughing at the blue whales at the Berlin Crisis.
Nathan, have you seen the Fat Electrician? Do you know what we're talking about?
No, I don't know what this is.
Okay, so there's a guy on YouTube named the Fat Electrician, and
is he a fat electrician?
He's not
he used
that
to be.
fat.
Now he's much more fit, and he's a full-time YouTuber and historian. But he just
does military history.
Yeah, he mostly focuses on military history, but then he has like a side channel called the Fat Files where he just like deep dives on like different businesses or something.
The one about Hobby Lobby was a trip.
Like how Hobby Lobby was stealing religious artifacts and illegally importing them to the United States.
Yeah, I knew about that. All right, I'm gonna add it to my watch list. There you go. I'll add it to my list of things to watch recently.
Nathan got a new YouTube channel. Francois got a book. I don't know.
People don't really ask me a lot of science related questions outside of the lab.
How do you print babies?
People ask me shit like that sometimes. Like, Nathan, why haven't we solved cancer yet? Or I'll have to explain. But there was a part of my training where my PI at the time told me that no matter what the situation is, if somebody asks me about the work that I do and like how I do it and why I do it, I should answer them as long as they're and because my duty as a scientist and one who's federally funded is to provide that information to people who give us money to do research. So if you ask me questions about the work that I do and like how I do it and why I do it, and not in a podcast setting because it would take forever and I'm not going to do it right now on air, is my responsibility as a scientist and my duty as a scientist and somebody who relies on federal funding is to explain what I do and how I do it and why I do it to people.
Why do you do science to people?
Not to people.
Explain science
for people. For all
for
mankind,
people.
You see.
Yeah. Only if you're American citizens, though, because you fund my research.
Science to people sounds suspiciously Fabius Bio-like.
Look, fair enough.
Nathan has compared himself to a homunculus before, so he gets into some weird shit in the lab.
Whatever faction he identifies with, he's like, I'm going to identify with the fucked up guy in the faction.
Sure. I identify with being an atheist in a world full of gods, apparently. I don't know. Fuck it. All right. Next question. It's also from Trom. Who would do better on each other's patient? A vet on humans or a GP on an animal?
Probably a vet on humans.
Well, I'll tell you this. Legally, I have the exemption to work on a human in an emergency situation. They don't have the exemption the other way around.
So of the three of us, when they ask for a doctor on a plane, you're the only one that can actually stand up.
There was a moment at the 1 year that I went to Charity Hammer, which for context, Nathan's been there. You don't sleep. You're up stupid long hours.
To be fair, when I went, I got COVID and still helped from a hotel room.
Yeah. So, I'm not running on a lot of sleep. The year I went, we had like the Hot Ones sauce challenge. And so my GI tract is in full rebellion the day after eating a large amount of hot sauce. And I'm taking a red-eye flight back from, Pacific Northwest to Atlanta. And I just want to sleep because I have to work like the next, like not the day I get home, but like the next day. And I'm fried and I'm just sitting on this plane. It takes off. And then that fucking announcement comes on. Are there any medical professionals on this plane? And I just sat for a second like, there better be another fucking one on this plane right now. And sure enough, they're like a guy like 2 rows ahead of me. He's like, I'm an EMT. And I'm like, good enough.
He works on humans at least.
Yeah. I was like, let him have that.
People sometimes ask me for medical advice because I work on medical problems. And I'm like, look, I only work on dead things.
Nathan,
and
you look at this rash.
things apart. Yeah.
I'm look at this body.
If it's a dead body, sure. I'm really great at dissecting things. Do you want me to do that? Yeah. I could, in theory. So I've been trained on how to do surgical techniques on animals, but mostly small mammals, like really small ones, like rats and mice. So like, in theory, I could give you an injection and give you sutures because you're just a bigger version of that.
Yeah.
Like, I could hand somebody surgical tools in a clean surgical environment because I've been trained on how to do surgical procedures in a clean environment, like those kinds of things. But I ain't helping you fix anything other than that.
I think we've established that in the zombie apocalypse grading of who's the most helpful here, it's first Seth, then Nathan, and then several rungs down me.
I do know how to make penicillin. Like I can do that. But
you just like eat moldy bread. That's how it works, right?
Both me and Seth both sighed deeply. All right.
Anyway, next question.
We got a lot of mileage out of that one.
We did. Chris Polly has the last question, which is, what crazy things would Belisarius Call, Illuminator Scissoras, and Fabius Bile come up with if they were all first to work together in a lab?
I'm morally upset that we didn't include Mad Doc Krotznik in this group, but whatever.
I think they would seal the Eye of Terror is what would happen. Like the 3 of them would figure it the fuck out.
Or open 2 more.
Or, yeah. It's like a 4-up to seal it. Here, we're gonna roll a d20 that I've got on this desk and see what happens real quick.
They would also like
happening.
They would also like clone the Emperor.
Well, I rolled a nat 20, which says they'd close it. So there you go.
Yeah, but they'd also like, Illuminator Sarahs would be like, I have some of the Emperor's DNA, and you're like, fucking how? And like Fabius Bile's like, I know how to clone things, and Belisarius Call was like, fuck it, let's just get a new Emperor. I'll help. I got some shit I could test on a new Emperor. Like, I think they would do that too. Like, they'd make a new Emperor.
They just make an Emperor, and he would close the rift.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Done. GW, you can thank us for that lore that you're definitely going to incorporate
into
invoicing
Black Library for the
in 11th edition when the Emperor comes out after we have the triumvirate of Belisarius Call, Illuminator Saraz, and Fabius Bile box. You guys know who got that there.
So I will say in Battlefleet Gothic 2, where you have the Necron campaign, if you win as the Necrons, they close the Eye of Terror. they just fucking do it. They close it, and you're like, oh, okay. You could do that the whole time.
They're like, yeah. Did you guys not fucking know?
Yeah.
I mean, they do have the pylons. That was like the whole story for the
how the Great Maw opened, the rift across the galaxy now opened. Yes, that is how that happened. They destroyed all the pylons.
Abaddon's failed crusades were not actually fails. They were him killing other pylons in retcon.
Because we had to make Abaddon not an entirely useless villain. Sorry, folks. Abaddon's not an effective villain until he became effective. Sorry, Abaddon.
He is just as effective as the story needs him to be.
Correct. Like every boondoggle in Warhammer 40k and character in 40k. Like the one character, the Grey Knight character who carved his name into Mortarian's heart or whatever. That's silly, but it happened. Also, yes, Trazyn definitely has a Primarch in his vault. It is a clone of Fulgrim, untarnished. It's inside of Trazyn's vault. Trazyn is crazy.
I love the Infinite and Divine. I have to finish that book.
I need to read that because everybody always recommends that as their favorite book. After Dungeon Crawler Call.
All right. Good goal for next time is we all have to read Infinite and the Divine and the first book of Dungeon Crawler Carl, so we can have book club for the 8th of January.
Sounds like a plan.
So you have 2 books by then, Francois.
That's easy.
I have half a book.
Francois is a professional reader. He's a historian.
Those books, I'm sure, are much easier to read than all of those.
Professional reader. Fucking Christ.
He is. He's a professional reader.
I'm sorry. I'm a professional storyteller.
Okay, let's not go crazy, Francois.
That title belongs to the fat electrician, sir.
True. Yes, only the fat electrician can claim to be a professional storyteller. All right. That is all of our questions. Yeah. I feel like we've vamped appropriately for 90 minutes.
We've had our fun. We've talked the minimum about 40K required.
33% is the minimum. It's done. In the contract.
Since the benchmark's met.
Thank you, everybody, for watching us and joining us on this journey through life, where we learned that Seth's family has a cannon. Francois loves pies made with lots of lard. And I don't really have any Christmas traditions, apparently. I hope you all have had a lovely evening with us, and I hope you all have a lovely holidays. We will see you back here on the 8th of January with a book report. And I expect 5-paragraph essays from both Seth and Francois about the infinite and the divine.
I expect the listeners to also have joined us on this book report, by the way.
Listeners, you should also join us.
I will not be grading any of them.
No. Everybody have a wonderful weekend.
Graded on pass fail.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye-bye.